Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you a new episode. Part 15 of What If Naruto Was Too Advanced for His Age. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected and Lost Everything on this channel and enjoy that guys. And over on Anime King 3 I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken the Ren Tenseigan. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And over on Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was an Elite Blue Eye Uchiha. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, yes, you heard all of that correctly. My name is Anime King, and I have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3 for you guys to enjoy what ifs every single day on each channel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, guys. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, both Naruto and Neji came to the land of Wave as they saw the battle scene area where the battle had taken place. As on their further inspection, they saw ice as someone had an ice release ability. They made their way to Tezuna's house so they could find out what was going on. Tezuna saw them as he remembered them from so long ago, as he invited them in. As Kakashi was on the chair as the man was asleep, he seemed to be utterly exhausted, so they didn't bother to wake him as they made their way to find their Genins. Speaking to them, Kakashi took a while to wake up. When he did, they spoke about the threat that is Zabuza, and that Kakashi believed that man was still alive, not to mention he had a partner and the Demon Brothers as well. So they created a proper plan of strategy as Kakashi was intending on training the 3 Genins strong enough so that they could handle the Demon Brothers, while Naruto and Neji took on the unknown opponent, which they didn't know what they was capable of. So that was the best way, that was the best situation out of this. So with that, the day finally came. They had moved Tezuna's family just in case Inieri and Tsunami, just in case Gato decided to be smart and take away the man family and use it against him. So they bring them to a different place where they could be kept safe. So on the bridge, they face off against the Demon Brothers, Haku with his ice release, and Kakashi faced off against Zabuza. A fearsome battle took place, but Haku stood no chance as Naruto showed what he's called the Wind Dragon. Performing a massive wind technique, he blew the entire thing to smithereens as Haku was thrown back like a rag doll. Zabuza rushed over to his adoptive son to protect him as Gato came on the bridge, showing his intentions. Zabuza was in no state to fight as Kakashi had sliced his arm, and he was bleeding heavily and Haku was out as well. Both of them could not fight anymore. Gato made his intentions known as he was going to kill them anyway, as Naruto told Kakashi to take them back to the house, as the both of them weren't an enemy anymore. This guy was. Both him and Neji stayed behind as they took on Gato and his crew. A full-fledged ninja could take out an army of bandits and don't even batter an eye. So that is exactly what they did. Coming back, Kakashi offered Zabuza to come back to Konoha with him, so he would no longer be a missing nin of Kiri. As he thought about the proposition, he thought about it long and hard, but to keep Haku safe he would do it. So they made their way as they met Minato at the village. Minato decided to keep this on the down low until he discussed it more with Sarutobi, and bringing Kakashi to talk to him about it as well. There was many rooms at the manor, as he told her to take them there. When Kushina saw him, she flipped out, knowing his infamous trademark as Demon of the Mist. She nearly killed him as Naruto had to stop her. To calm her down, he told her that they were not the enemy, as she calmed down laughing awkwardly. As Naruto was approached by a Fenrir in his mindscape, The wolf wanted Naruto to go through a transformation. Something that would be painful, but it will help him a lot to help his friends and his families. And he will also be able to transform into a wolf. That was rather surprising. But it will take some time for him to be prepared for it. And he will be unconscious for a long while. So they will have to discuss this with his precious people around as well. So yeah guys, was basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So this begins new episode. At the Hokage's office, once Sarutobi and Kakashi arrived, they started to discuss the best course of action as Sarutobi heard Minato and Kakashi's story about approving Zabuza as a place in their ranks along with his son. This would bring a huge advantage to Konoha. Zabuza, with a master in Kenjutsu, and his son Haku could use Hayaton techniques that alone would give him a valued asset to join Konoha. The problem that Minato pointed out was the political issue of it all. Sure, the man was a mason and such. He severed all ties with his home village. However, Sarutobi wasn't really concerned with Kiri. However, he was concerned with the other influential village around the Elemental Nation. The act of recruiting Zabuza into their forces would sound like a preparation for war. And with Orochimaru already being a threat on the horizon, having the other village start to look at them even more keenly wouldn't be a good thing. But in case an invasion occurs, Haku and Zabuza would be a great boost to their victory. Kakashi-kun, Minato-kun. This is indeed a sensitive issue for reasons that I'm sure both of you are aware of. The fact still remains that Orochimaru will try to invade his village, and we are certain that he will drag another village for his purpose. However, which village, we still don't know. Now, even though it might turn out that having someone as Zabuza may anger Kumo or the stone towards us, his skills might be proven needed to save more citizen lives, said Sarutobi. Earn a nod from Minato. Zabuza is a missing link, Sarutobi. Do you think they might come to us because of it? Normally no for any other people, but because of his fame, it will be seen like we are gathering missing links to join in for a battle. So I'm assuming that you give him a joining position. What about his son? From what I read on the mission profile, he was quite fast with those ice needle of his. As Minato nodded, indeed, Zabuza is on terms with Kakashi here, so joining would be his position. I was considering Anfu, but first we have to test where his loyalty are. Haku. I will take the Chunin exams in a couple of months. Kakashi, who do you think would work well with someone like Zabuza? As I understand, he has quite the temper. Well, in my opinion, Zabuza is a well-rounded individual, with plenty of time to depend on himself, especially since he had to leave Kiri. I am afraid that he won't be so eager to work with a team, or to follow someone else's orders. The only person I believe he'd work with well is his son, as he's been doing for the past couple of years. Both Hiruzen and Minato nodded. They were thinking the same thing. I will place his son with him for missions. On occasions, I'll mix it up with other ninjas. Perhaps either my son or Neji can fit the last man of their team quite nicely. I'll be responsible for breaking news to them, since they're currently at my house. And, oh crap, I forgot about Kushina. As the man froze, realizing his wife seeing Zabuza, and not knowing what was going on, he just hoped Naruto told her in time. The man's face instantly pale if Naruto failed too. Neither Kakashi or Sarutobi made a joke. After all, they knew when Kushina was mad it was not a good thing. He really hoped that Naruto managed to bail Zabuza out before his wife killed him on sight. His son was always there to bail him out as well, whenever Kushina was angry with him. Yes, his son is always there to come up with some clever excuse. He shook his head off that. Sarutobi, did Jiraiya inform you about the snake, he asked. Jiraiya was able to inform that Orochimaru is on the move with his plan, but he can't say for sure when it will be. Nevertheless, Orochimaru's cunning mind is what we should consider here. Just breaking through the main gates. He would never do something like that. That would be stupid. He would want to find an opportunity where our defenses would be severely compromised. Some way to completely integrate himself into the mix, to find the perfect opportunity to strike. As you both know, it is our turn to host the Chunin exam, and Konoha will become crowded with tourists and nobles. Through the Elemental Nation see the new crop of Chunins. Because of this, protecting everyone and the village at the same time will be a very sensitive spot for us, should my old student attack. It dawned on both of them he was right completely. With so much people entering the village, it will be impossible to find Orochimaru. And how would he choose to attack? He knew that they would risk their life to protect the village, while he could do as much as he wanted if chaos was happening. This was bad. Meanwhile, the Namikaze household. After getting lunch with his girlfriend, Naruto had dropped her off, as he had informed her about the procedure that he was going to undertake. As she was quite shocked, she just hoped and prayed that he was going to be okay. He told her that it might at least take 48 hours to complete. He was unsure. That is what happened for the last person He didn't know how long it would take with him. It took a while for him to convince her about his resolve in this manner. But he was determined. She was just worried about him, as she wanted to make sure he would be alright. But he assured her that he'll be fine. Once he entered the house, everything was in the rightful place, so no confrontations occurred. Wandering around, he saw his mother fixing some sandwich for her guests. But neither Haku or Zabuza were anywhere to be seen, so he asked her. She told him that they were at the garden. Once he made his way outside, he saw Zabuza, as he was watching Haku sit on the water, doing a chakra control exercise. What is he doing here, to ask? As Zabuza glanced towards him, Haku is improving his Hayaton skill, freezing the water of a lake and unfreezing it right afterwards, increasing his speed and rate. As Naruto nodded, I was mean to ask you something. During your fight with my son, you used wind jutsu, but I'm certain that I could sense different traces of chakra inside of you. A trace of water as well. As Naruto nodded, it seemed like Zabuza didn't sense his lightning manipulation. Zabuza may become a Konoha shinobi, but it wouldn't do any good to expose the ability to someone that could easily kill him if he found out. Wind is my prime affinity, but I managed to use water manipulation for defensive purposes, said Naruto. As Zabuza nodded, I see. Well, Haku is the same, but he has a secondary affinity for water. By mixing wind and water, he can use Hayaton techniques. Haku opened his eyes, the entire lake freezed over before it returned back to normal. As he picked himself up, Haku, you're getting better, but until you can freeze the lake instantly, there is still room for improvement. Now, let's practice some physical exercises. Hey, can I help, said Naruto. Zabuza looked towards him. Sure, he said. Time skip. Later that night, Minato came home. As he noticed his wife was in the kitchen, she was chopping something up with a rather sharp knife. He gulped as he stepped inside. He greeted her. She greeted him with a smile as he started to walk off. Oh, Minato-kun, she said, her voice sweet as an angel. Don't think you will get out of this, she said. His eye twitched. He thought that he could avoid this situation entirely. But, for the sake of our guests, I'll refrain from causing a scene, she said. Now, go call them for dinner. I believe they're at the garden. This is what he get for not telling her about this. Yeah, being known as Yellow Flash, he could at least flash home and told her, but he kinda forgot. And now she was pissed. Minato sighed as he made his way out. He saw Naruto holding his own against Zabuza. The man was probably holding back, but Minato was proud of his son, as he had saw how far he was coming, and he just keep on improving. As he told them that dinner was ready. Dinner was really uneventful, as Zabuza was like Kakashi when reading his porn. He barely talked except for the necessary things. But he told Minato how much he appreciated the Jonin role, as Minato had give Haku the Chunin rank, but he wanted to see how the boy would fare in the exam, as everyone will be told about him and their position, and they will find a place for them to stay. So they had nothing to worry about as they were incorporated in the ranks of Konoha. After everything was said and done, the place was cleaned up. Kushina was feeling a bit tired after doing the chores today, as she went to go and get some rest. As Zabuza and Haku, once they were finished, and everything was said and done and everything was clean, they made their way as they went to get some rest as well. As Naruto was left with his father, he wanted to talk to his father one-on-one though. Fixing some steak for himself to relax, Minato saw his son approach him. Dad, I need to talk to you. It's important. Minato nodded as Naruto took a seat. Well, you remember how I said that Fenrir-sama, the leader of the Wolf Clan, could communicate with me through the mark in my arm, right? Minato nodded. Well, in the last mission, he spoke to me about a ritual that I must undertake because I'm the chosen one. If I were to say something from the look on your face, Naruto, I would say that this ritual is quite troublesome by your face alone. May I ask why this is even necessary? From what I recall, you already have the wolf summoning contract in your possession. As Naruto nodded, but before he could say anything else, Fenrir contacted him as he wanted to be summoned. So Naruto did as he was told as he summoned the great wolf. As the white wolf appeared. Greetings, Tokage-sama. It's an honor to finally meet you, Fenrir said. Greetings, Fenrir-sama. The honor is mutual, said Minato. No, I'm assuming that you're here to talk about this ritual my son is gonna undertake. Yes, this procedure that Naruto put it is called wolf blood, where Naruto here would be required to drink our blood. Once the blood enters his system, it will mix with his own, thus begin the ritual. It will only end when his body adjusts to the mixture. The only problem with it, and why Naruto spoke to you about it, was because the pain is immense. and I can't tell you exactly how long it will take to finish. Minato frowned in dismay. Okay, you explained what the ritual entails, but you didn't explain why my son have to entail such a thing. Withstanding pain for a long time can cause both damage to body and brain. It's too risky. As a chosen one, your son will carry the blood for a clan to where he goes. Such of those before him. As for the ritual, the result will increase Naruto's speed, strength, and chakra. Also, he will then possess skills more in depth with our clan. Now, I understand what pain can do to the body, and I understand the concern a father can have for their son, seeing that I also have offspring as well. And I give my word, for Tokaiya-sama, no harm should happen to your son. The only thing might change is height, and a few more muscles. Minato nodded as he turned towards Naruto. What do you think, Naruto? Are you up for whatever might happen? Minato asked, looking for a look of doubt in his son's face to see if he was not up to it. I am, father. I am, said Naruto. By doing this, I will be of more service to you and be able to protect the village and the people I care about deep in my heart, he said. As Minato smiled at that, I see. It takes courage to accept something without knowing the full knowledge or the extent. And I can see your resolve in this, my son. Your reason for doing this is not selfish and for your own. You want to protect those who are precious to you. And as your father, I'm proud of you, my son. If it is my approval that you seek, you have it. But for this ritual to happen, someone have to watch my son, Fenrir-sama. As I said before, Takagi-sama, no harm shall happen to your son. I will personally be there to oversee the procedure, and you can appoint someone to assist for any of Naruto needs. Alright, it's better to do this somewhere where no one can see what is going on, while you're in a vulnerable situation just in case of Minato. Take Fenrir-sama to the caves at the Hokage monument. There, no one will see you, and I'll send Kakashi there as well. Now please get some rest. I have a feeling that you have a very busy day tomorrow, as Fenrir nodded to them as he moved away. As Naruto was stopped by his father. Naruto, after the ritual is finished, I want you to increase your training, my son. I fear that troubled times lie ahead of us, and I want you to be prepared just in case. Don't worry, Dad, said Naruto. I'll train as hard as always. As Minato smiled, I'll be keeping you inside the village, as well as your team to train. For the month and a half until the next Chunin exams, he said. As Naruto nodded as he bid his father good night. The next morning, unlike most mornings, today the sun didn't find the strength to overcome the clouds. As lightning was tearing through the sky, thunder was booming. Naruto wasn't focused on the weather because his mind was on something else entirely at the moment. As he made his way towards the monument where the ritual would begin, as the pain was on his mind that Fenrir said that was gonna be intense, as he was scheduled to meet Kakashi up there. He remembered the look on his mother's face, as she could barely hold the frying pan because it was shaking a bit. But she didn't want to make him feel worried, and she already knew that her son was gonna do this. Yet she gave him a big hug before he left. As he arrived, he saw Kakashi lean up against the wall, book in hand. Are you ready, Naruto? He asked. As ready as I'll ever be, said Naruto, as the both of them went inside the cave. Rain started to pour down as they made their way inside, as he could hear it from inside the cave, and it was rather loud like an echo. After stopping in the empty clearing, Kakashi waited, as Naruto bit his thumb. Summoning Jutsu. Fenrir appeared, with a vial in his mouth. Now I recognize you, Kakashi Hatake, member of the Hatake family, and holder of the summoning contract for dogs. You smell just like one, Fenrir said, as Kakashi greeted the wolf. Still book in hand, Fenrir looked towards Naruto. I know I didn't give much choice to you on this matter, Naruto, but do you still feel up to it? Whether or not I'm up to it, I still don't have a choice in the matter, said Naruto. But this is not for a selfish reason for obtaining power. I need this power to protect my friends and family, and to protect the village as a whole, he said. Fenrir nodded as he placed on the vial. As I said before, the pain will be immediate. As Naruto picked up the vial, your body temperature would rise above 100 degrees Celsius. The rain is gonna be pouring for a long while, it seems. Think about the cool, calming water. That will help you, he said. As Fenrir nodded, as Naruto opened the vial, he took a deep breath before he took all of it at once. As Kakashi turned towards Naruto, at first, nothing happened, it just tasted funny, until his eyes became blurry, and his body started to sway from left to right. He then dropped to the ground, as Naruto had teared the Chunin vest off him as his body felt like he was being dipped in molten lava. The wolf blood traveling through his veins, he felt like his body was being pulsed with air and being pulled back up and down, as Kakashi felt a tug at his heartstring to see the boy like this, in so much pain. But Fenrir assured him that everything will be fine. as Naruto will succeed because of his drive to never give up and to protect the ones that he loved. Time skip, it was already night at Namikaze household as Kushina felt pain, just knowing that her son might be in incredible pain right now. She felt useless as she wanted to go and take the pain on herself if that could ease her son's pain somehow. But he was already well in doubt of going on with this procedure, and he would never let her do something like that. There was a knock on the door. As they went to open it, Kushina-san, Hokage-sama, is Naruto-kun alright? Is he back yet? Asked Eugeo. Minato shook his head in a negative, as the man seemed to be feeling down, as he couldn't, well, say for what, or how much pain his son must be going through right now. No, he's not here yet. According to Fenrir-sama, the procedure can take longer than 2 days. That is when the last one finished, and he's unsure of the time limit. I know my son to be stubborn about quitting, and I know that he will pull through this. That is just the person he is, said Minato. Yes, Naruto-kun is always the one to get over things. This will not put him down, said Kushina. My baby boy will always stand strong, she said. Time skip. At the cave, Kakashi was twitching as Naruto was now coughing up blood, but Fenrir told him that it was a part of the procedure. As Fenrir wanted Naruto to see the last step, as he could feel Naruto blood mingling with the wolf blood. The pain, Naruto cursed. I can't breathe. It's too much, he thought to himself. As he started to hyperventilate hard, he felt his body slipping and getting weaker, but his eyes snapped focus as he had to stay. He had to get stronger to protect the ones he loved. Mom, Dad, Miseo, Kakashi-Nisan, Neji, Uncle, Tenten, Eugeo. I can't give up. I won't give up, he screamed in his mind as a new source of chakra flooded his body as a bright light enveloped the entire cave. As it blinded Kakashi and Fenrir for a moment. When the light cleared away, Naruto was standing on his feet. As Kakashi dashed forward as he caught Naruto before he fell. He placed 2 fingers on his neck as he felt Naruto's pulse. He released a sigh of relief. I told you that he would succeed. Take him home to rest. He won't be waking up for at least 2 days in this period, and the new blood will be improving his attributes while he sleeps. The boy managed to finish in 1 day, while the last one needed 2 days. As we all can see, this boy is very special. Kakashi turned as he smiled towards Naruto. Yes, he is special indeed. After Fenrir left, Kakashi quickly made his way towards the Namikaze household. The moment he arrived, Kushina rushed towards her son as she took him. Kakashi explained to him that everything worked out fine, and that he would wake up in 2 days. Once Naruto was put in a warm, comfortable bed, Kakashi explained the procedure. It was hard for them to imagine so much pain for their young son, as Yuji was there as well. But everything was over now, and it was successful. Time skip. 2 days later. 2 days passed in a blink as Konoha was making their preparation for the upcoming Chunin exams, of course. And also, the secret preparation for the defensive corps against Orochimaru's impending invasion. Missions were being handled with care, so that they wouldn't raise any suspicion. Minato was slowly, but he was doing it, decreasing the amount of missions and putting on the envoys as border patrol. Stealth was the envoys' things. They would carry the border patrol without enemy ninjas getting suspicious at all. Even if Orochimaru is a spy to try and watch over them, everything would be seen as normal, while Minato was building defense, waiting for the attack to happen. Because of these new changes, Yakushi Kabuto wasn't threatened at all. He was positioned behind Konoha forces so that he could report to his master Orochimaru. Somehow, he didn't know, but he felt it deep in his gut. Something out of the ordinary was going on, the way everything was being kept. But he didn't know exactly what exactly was going on. But he needed to find out just in case. The amount of ninjas were diminishing since the Chunin exam were announced. They wouldn't take their ninjas off duty just because of the exam. That would be, well, quite stupid. As Kabuto noticed 2 envoys came to the gates, moving with tremendous speed towards the Hokage's office. He will have to find out more about it, and he will have to tell his master. Time skip. At the Namikaze household, as Naruto stirred in his bed, the sunlight messing with his eyes. He just wanted to sleep. That was a first. He was usually the first one up, as he was always up and ready. But now, he was sleeping in late, as he wondered what was going on in his head. Felt like it was about to explode. The memory then hit him, making him wince, as he remembered the cave. And remember how much pain he went through. His body was literally tearing itself apart. He was coughing up blood. He wondered where he was. He looked around. He was in his room. He picked himself up to do his morning routine. Stopped in front of the mirror, he was confused because he could not see his face. As he had to lower himself because his neck was a thing being shown in the mirror. He looked at his arms that were no more built. He didn't remember what Fenrir said about his body getting, well, bigger. After taking a nice cold shower, he went into his closet. As Naruto cursed, the clothes no longer fitted him. As noticing his new appearance, he knew that would be a thing. But he couldn't wear them. Damn it. He then noticed something, as there was another bag of clothes with a note from his mother, as his mother had bought some new clothes for him to wear. As Naruto smiled, and his mother always had a good fashion sense, as he tried the clothes on. Black envelope pants with 3 stripes on the leg, with a fishnet shirt, and a blue shirt to go with his tuning vest. The boots were the same black one that he always favored. As he made his way downstairs, he saw Maseo. She was in her little special chair, with his mother feeding her. Maseo was 2 years old, going on to 3. As Maseo saw him, "Brother!" she shouted. As Kushina turned, her eyes went wide. She bought the clothes, a lot of them in various sizes. She figured the ones that he couldn't wear now, he'd wear them when he get older. But she never expected him to grow so much. As he was shorter than her, now he was taller. And he was muscular. "I didn't know the ritual changed you so much, Naruto-kun. And I see you already tried the clothes I got you," she said. As Naruto nodded, as he looked at little Maseo with a smile. As the baby giggled, "I was surprised as well, Mom. I woke up this morning and I was like this. I appreciate the clothes. I like them a lot," said Naruto. As he made his way to get some cereal, "Yuji was the one that helped me purchase those clothes yesterday," said Kushina. The blue stripes on the pants was her idea, because if you're lightning and win a fainting, and I see it suited you nicely. "So what will you do today, Naruto-kun?" she asked, as she wiped Miseo's mouth. Miseo tried to eat a napkin, as Kushina giggled a bit, as the baby laughed. "I think I have to get adjusted to my body," he said. "I also want to test my chakra control, seeing that it was tampered with in the ritual. My chakra has grown, so I should focus on controlling for now, before testing techniques." Kushina smiled, never letting anything get him down. He's always just kept on going. That is the determination she loved about her son, as she smiled. She wished him a good day as he made his way off. Once he was finished with breakfast, he kissed his mom on his forehead and little Miseo as well. As Naruto made his way to a training ground, he ran up a tree but his foot slipped as he fell. "Okay, more control," said Naruto, as he started to run up a tree up and down like a newbie. He did this for 1 hour, and then he stuck himself upside down in a tree, concentrated not to fall. After that, he dashed from left to right, doing every dash, twirl, jump, everything he could do. Test out his agility. His legs were no longer and he was having trouble landing properly on the ground, so he had to focus on, well, getting used to that. As he started to throw out multiple punches and kicks, getting used to his long legs and his long hands. After he finished with the katas, he heard clapping behind him. As he turned to see the smoking Jonin, Sarutobi was passing by, as he sensed Naruto familiar chakra signature, as he hadn't seen Naruto in a good while now. As Asuma was getting closer, Naruto was getting taller. What the hell? No, that was impossible. He couldn't have grown so much. "Oh, hello there, Asuma-sensei," said Naruto. "Long time no see. I was thinking of actually finding you in order to do some catching up," said Naruto. Asuma blinked. "Whoa, Naruto, you had quite the growth spurt. I know it's been a long time, but I can't picture you as a 14-year-old right now. You look as tall as Kakashi right now." "What the hell happened?" Asuma said, as he refused to believe that this was just a growth spurt. "It's a long story, Asuma-sensei, but I won't tell you everything under the condition to keep that secret for now. Can't let the information fall on the wrong ears. You know the drill," he said. "You can tell Kurenai though when you see her later," said Naruto. As Asuma nodded, as Naruto then told Asuma everything from the start, seeing that he hadn't seen man in a long time. He told him about the Wolf Clan, and how he was the chosen one. As Asuma nodded, "You went through a lot," he said. "But I see that it paid off." As Naruto smirked, "So how are the knife treating you?" Asuma asked. "So good so far," said Naruto. "The new ones are less agile to perform jutsus, but it's only a matter of adopting. And indeed, they cover more ground for defensive procedures, just like you said, Asuma-sensei. I was wondering though, about improving the agility, seeing that the timing's a bit too slow," said Naruto, than the first one. As Asuma nodded as he stroked his beard at that. As Naruto continued, you see, said Naruto, the angle that the new knife is made to tend to make a lot of resistance in the air when moved. So I was thinking of bending the steel less, so to avoid the air resistant, as well as position the knife to block the enemy's attack. As Asuma went into a thinking pose, the forger, he said, turning back Naruto, has already taken this into consideration. I'm afraid, well, at least that is what he said. I've never taken into account such a possibility. The next time I see the man though, I'll talk to him about it. In the meantime though, I think I can solve your problem. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're not moving the knife in a diagonal sense, but rather in a vertical or horizontal. Am I right? Naruto nodded, a bit confused. You see, said Asuma, by moving the steel diagonally, the air resistance won't affect the steel while moving when you try it vertically or horizontally. So moving it that way, you have to battle the air pressure. And that's not a good thing in battle because it slows down your reaction time and you can get hurt. As Naruto gripped the trench knife in his hand, he looked at the way he was holding it. He then smiled to Sensei. He then started one of the knife katas with a different grip. As he started swinging much faster, his reaction time a lot better. As Asuma smiled, see what I mean? As Naruto stopped, as he smiled, thanks for that, he said. As he was thinking about the fights that he had so far, moving a second later, that could be his end because of his new trench knife. But with the way of moving them now, it was a lot quicker and able to catch reaction times a lot better. Listen Naruto, I'm late to meet with my team. At the moment they're training for June exams. Practice some more until you become familiarized with the style. And just give me a call if you need any more help, said Asuma. As Naruto nodded, told him to give Shikamaru's best regards. As the man went off. Once now alone, Naruto placed away trench knife as he sat down. As he started to work on his chakra flow, its chakra flowing through his system. As he focused on his writing ability. As an electric field started to generate around his body. Like a power switch, the electric field rushed through his hands, his stomach and his legs. As he could feel the agitated chakra running through his coils, he had to keep it calm and steady. As he tried to hold it for as long as he can. It took 15 minutes. When he was done, he was breathing heavily. It was already past lunchtime, as his stomach was growling. Seeing that his house was near the training ground, he was gonna get some lunch and then come back to train. As he wanted to try out a new wind technique, but he has to get his chakra under fully control first. But before he gets some lunch, he needed to make sure his chakra control had returned back to what it was before he would undergo that ritual. As he shed down his clothes, leaving his boxers on, as he made his way on top of the water surface, he kept on falling in the water over and over, showing how short his chakra control got after the ritual. But it took a few hours, as he was able to stand perfectly still back on the water. He raised one foot in the air as he stood on top of the water with one foot, holding on to the ram seal, until he felt someone enter the clearing. You know, if I didn't know you any better, I would say you're trying to bring attention to yourself by only dressing like that, Uncle said. But Naruto did not answer, as he held perfectly still. Uncle picked up a pebble as she threw it, hit him right on the feet as Naruto fell into the water. Uncle dropped as she held her stomach, laughing. As Naruto came out of the water, his eyes glaring dagger at his sensei. Geez, Naruto, I was hoping to visit my student, the ninjutsu genius. Instead, I only see you water walking. What gives? Uncle asked. As Naruto rised up out of the water, a blush came on Uncle's face. What the hell? Damn. As she hadn't seen him in some time now, Yujiro said that he changed, but not that much. But she wasn't giving his change any justice. Oh, I get it now. She was trying to say that Naruto hasn't changed that much because she didn't want other girls try to lure him away from her. Sneaky devil, Yujiro-chan. Because of some events that happened, I had to get reacquainted with my chakra control, Uncle Sensei said Naruto. I was doing fine until you interrupt me though. As Uncle snickered at that. What can I say? I'm your sensei. And until you become Jonin, forcing a way for you to make a mistake is still one of my hobbies. To make sure you're ready for anything. After all, better here than in the field. So Yujiro told me about your ritual with the wolves. Some ritual you were undergoing, so how are you feeling? She asked. As Naruto put on back his clothing. I'm alright. Although I didn't want to go through this chakra control for much longer, he said. They're kind of annoying to perform over again and time demanding. Nevertheless, by this time tomorrow, I'll be back in full shape, he says, he clenches his fist. So, Uncle Sensei, interested in getting something to eat and catching up, said Naruto. Well, Naruto-kun, said, a small, tiny amount of arrogance. I'm flattered that you asked me out, but Yujiro-chan wouldn't appreciate that. Neither would my Aruka-kun. But there's no problem, said Naruto, in taking my sensei out for a meal the last time I checked. But since you feel this way, alright. I'm just gonna have to eat all those dango by myself. I mean, just imagine those sweet, delicious, luscious dangos. Hey wait, Uncle said. I guess I could tag along. As Naruto laughed. Hey, don't laugh at me, kid, she said. Time skip. At Dango shop, Uncle was enjoying the dango, as she had 5 of them in one hand, 5 sticks. The both of them started to discuss, seeing that they haven't seen each other a while, about training, and about Naruto's new expectations, and he told her more about the ritual, as Uncle felt his pain, as she saw the look on his face. She could tell that it was a lot, because Naruto wasn't one to be squeamish, so if he said it was painful, then yeah, she believed him, it was painful. After everything was said and done, Uncle said that she had to go. The moment Naruto turned back around, she was gone. There was a note though, with a chibi Uncle at the bottom, with 2 thumbs up, as it wrote, your treat. As Naruto simply chuckled a bit, as he went into his pocket and paid for the dango, he decided to walk around the village. The people that knew him greeted him well, as he waved back to them and smiled. He saw Anvus dashing past overhead. A big smile came to his face when he saw his purple-haired girlfriend moving quickly, as her body lingered for a second, but she was on duty, as that made Naruto smile. But he knew that things were going to get hectic very soon, as the Anvus patrols were moving rather quickly, and they were getting a lot. When Naruto came back home, he saw his mother feeding Miseo some milk, and his father was reading a newspaper, as Minato put on the newspaper as he looked at his son. As he was now the same height as Kakashi, that was just insane, considering that he was nowhere near that level 2 days ago. As Naruto greeted them and he told his father about a new jutsu that he wanted created, Wind Release Multiple Disc Wind Jutsu. As his father sat down as he heard all of the theories behind the jutsu, the cut-in wind chakra, and also Naruto built the mold the chakra. That could be rather impressive, as Miseo looked at her brother, as she crawled right over to him, crawling away from Kushina. As Naruto smiled, he looked towards his baby sister, as Kushina looked towards Naruto again, as he looked so much more like his father now, like an exact replica, when you look at it in a sense. And Miseo looked just like her, as she wondered if people would think that they were them, especially since Miseo got her facial features, and not to mention the red hair. At least the theories are already covered, said Naruto. Now all I have to do is practice with it, until I can shape the wind into multiple discs. Right now though, I'm just focused on chakra control, and understand how my chakra flow through the pathways. I have no doubt that you will succeed, and when you do, I would like a demonstration. So tell me, how are you coming along with your Rasengan? Asked Minato. As Naruto was surprised. He didn't know that his father knew that he was attempting the swirling ball technique. How did you know I was practicing the Rasengan, he said. The only person that knows is Neji. Oh, now I get it, said Naruto. As he looked at his mother who was smirking, her face turned into an innocent look. But Naruto caught her. Oh, I just thought that your father would be proud to see you following his footsteps. Who knows? Maybe you can finish the technique, said Kushina. As Minato nodded, adding elemental affinity to the swirling ball of Rasengan was a feat that not even he has achieved yet. He already made some attempts by adding lightning chakra to the ball, but he just couldn't maintain the Rasengan while adding the element at the same time. It was like looking left and right at the same time. It was impossible. One would think that the technique is complete and that is finished. But the truth is, I created the technique to add an elemental affinity in it in the future. So far though, said Minato, I have not succeeded. Maybe you can think of something with that creativity of yours, my son. How far along are you with the technique? As Naruto held out his hand, the Rasengan formed, but after 5 seconds it vanished. The third stage is a problem, Dad. I can't contain the energy for too long. Hopefully, by the end of my training, I'll be able to finalize the technique, said Naruto. Surely, the third stage is tough, if I recall. Your godfather and Kakashi took a while to contain the energy. You're on the right track though. After some practice, you'll be able to complete it. Now I bet you're hungry after all your practice. I know I am. As Minato looked towards his wife, as Naruto looked towards her as well, and then Miseo looked towards her. Kushina had to giggle, seeing the curiosity on all of their faces, as Miseo started to laugh, for unknown reasons, as that made the rest of the family laugh. Time skip, as Naruto was in his mindscape, looking up at the moon. I can see that your blood did wonders for your physical attributes and your chakra. Soon enough, your entire arsenal would improve greatly. How are you feeling? Asked Fenrir. as he stood beside Naruto. "Oh, I'm alright. I just had to get adjusted to this new body. Nothing a DR2 can't fix. So other than ask about my well-being, what's up?" said Naruto. As Naruto felt rather, tired and he wanted to sleep. Seems you're a little impatient since last time. Well, I didn't just call you here to ask who you are. Rather to show you an important aspect that is now linked to your blood. You see, Naruto, know that you have wolf blood inside your veins. You could uphold some of our characteristic. When the full moon is up, you'll have the ability to transform into a superior being. Increase speed, strength, and chakra. Suddenly, an image appeared in front of them. As Naruto saw a rather tall individual, black hair, black eyes, and wearing a suit that was seemingly made out of fur. As the full moon behind him, the man started to glow in a red substance before he transformed into a 6-foot werewolf. This man happened to be the last one that carried our blood, almost 2,000 years ago. And the transformation that you see in front of you is a Wolf Clan Jutsu, Wolf Transformation. You don't need any hand signs to perform. Rather, just focus on the full moon, and your chakra will be drawn towards it, and you just give in. Don't worry about accidentally transforming one day, because in order to do it, your mind has to be completely focused on that regard. As Naruto was at a loss as he saw the image in front of him facing off against hundreds of people. Speed, strength, agility was unlike anything he thought he could ever achieve. Don't worry about coping with his power. You are the chosen one, Naruto. You have the power, and it will be up to you to decide what to do with it. We wolves care deeply for our pack, and this sentiment is what drives you to become stronger. When in doubt, think about those you protect. Nevertheless, try to cope with the power that is granted to you. So try not to use it until you're absolutely certain, or if you're in danger. As Naruto nodded, time skip 3 days later, the sun was scorching hot today. Shinobis all around were training, as many of them were training for Chunin exams. Many of them were out boosting their strength, all of them near the river. But the scorching heat wasn't affecting one, Namikaze and Naruto. As Naruto had gotten his chakra back under control, its rather large reserves now. At the moment he was currently training Wind Style, Great Wind Breakthrough. As Naruto expanded the air, it spread it in a wide arc, almost surrounding his entire body. Seconds after, Naruto went to another set of hand signs. Lightning release. Lightning force jutsu, he said. As Naruto smiled, he was now satisfied with his chakra levels. He then started to work on his new wind technique, molding his chakra inside his system, like the shape of a disc. It was gonna be hard, but Naruto wasn't a person to give up so soon. And the Wind Dragon technique was a show of that. But little did he know he was being watched. One would believe that it was Itachi Uchiha because of the Sharingan swirling. But it was his little brother, Sasuke Uchiha, watching Naruto from afar. For years now, his brother has been telling him that Naruto always managed to surprise everyone in his techniques. So Sasuke wanted to see this firsthand, and also tried to copy some of his techniques he used in Chunin exams. Just like any other Uchiha, he had a fire affinity. But after a lot of training, he found out he also have a lightning affinity. And so did Naruto, as Kakashi Sensei wouldn't let him copy his jutsus. At least not right now. So he was gonna copy some of Naruto's. As the Sharingan glanced over the techniques, Sasuke blinked in confusion. The sheer amount of chakra needed for that one technique was insane, as he saw Naruto running through hand sign once again, when someone came behind him without him even knowing. Foolish little brother, what are you doing? As he turned to see Itachi in his envoy attire. Just because you possess a Sharingan doesn't give you the right to steal techniques from allies, said Itachi with a scolding tone. Sasuke snorted. Stop bothering me, brother, he said. I just want some lightning techniques to incorporate in my arsenal. That's all. As he looked back at the blonde, but Naruto was using wind chakra this time. If you aim to beat him in the future, brother, it won't matter if you copy his lightning techniques. He will just use wind techniques and he will beat you in the end. The only hope you have against him is using fire ninjutsu, that win over wind. As Sasuke frowned in dismay, little did they know Naruto had a third element. Sasuke grumbled as he left, seeing that he couldn't do anything else right here. As Itachi just watched him go, he was acting like any other Uchiha, thinking that their eyes was a salvation. Time skip, Hokage's office, documents, scrolls. People barging in with doubts that they could solve themselves. Minato swore if anyone enters his office with any stupid things, he was gonna drive a Rasengan in their chest. The man was a bit angry. He knew damn well for the frantic movement all around, but that didn't mean that he couldn't voice his frustration every now and then. The Chunin exam is going to begin in a couple of weeks. So he had to watch out for that and make sure everything is set up and in preparation. And know they had to worry about the upcoming invasion just in case as well. Keep eye out for any suspicious movements and anything that might show negligence against the village. His desk was filled with scrolls about the information regarding the Chunin exams as he sorted everything out. After that, he picked himself up as he made his way towards the window. This Chunin exams will bring a lot of influential people, seeing that many heirs of clan were participating. As Mikoto, younger son, Sasuke Uchiha, that everyone was talking about. Sasuke, the boy seemed to be growing rather fast. Not to mention Hayashi, daughter Hinata Hyuga, and Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akamichi, Hiba Inuzaka, Shino Aberumi, all of the clan kids. This exam won't be like any other exam, as there was many clan participants taking part. Minato felt a shift in the wind as a toad appeared in his desk in a poof. The toad opened his mouth towards the edge of the desk as Jiraiya slipped out of the toad's mouth, standing on his feet. Greetings, Jiraiya-sensei. The Chunin exam is starting rather quickly. Are the toads ready to begin the operation? Asked Minato. As we speak, they are scouting the further regions away from the village walls. Any strange movement will be reported to me, said Jiraiya. Minato nodded as he turned back to the window once more. Things were going as well as he thought so far, as he just hoped when the time came, everything kept up perfectly, so they could drive the snake away from Konoha, or he could finally put an end to one of Konoha's most dangerous missing in. Sarutobi had said to himself, he wanted to correct the mistake he made all those years ago by ending Orochimaru so no more plague can be against his village. But guys, be ends episode right here. If you want to see next part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification so you posted. Remember to share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way on Anime King and Anime King 3. Yes, you heard that correctly. If you're new, I have 3 channels, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3. I post what if every single day on each of the channels for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. Turn on those bell notifications, see exactly when I post, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get out of here, guys? See you guys over at Anime King. Peace.